This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com, and today I have an actress from a wrestling themed show that is on Amazon and Roku right now. I just finished watching all 8 episodes. It's called Against the Ropes, and this is the star of the show, Marissy Rose Brightman. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure, and it's not just me interviewing you. My dog's assisting me today.
Oh my gosh, look how cute.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the best.
So I just finished watching it. My biggest complaint is I had like my phone connected to the TV, and because they were only 8 minute long episodes, having to get up every 8 minutes to watch it all. So maybe you could start. Why did you guys go the route of the short episodes rather than just make it one longer thing?
Yeah, so I think we wanted to really paint a picture of exactly how we would do a sequence of a story. I think with a bigger budget and more resources, we would have been able to make a longer episode. But I think we were able to add just the correct amount of information in there to tell the basics of the story, so that we could potentially make more.
And this isn't really, it is wrestling themed, so wrestling fans will like it. But this is kind of a story of a girl that's realizing that I guess she's gay might be the right word to use, and her parents aren't accepting of it at first. We won't let the cat out of the bag too much, but one of the parents becomes a little bit more accepting as the show goes on. But what did you think of the script, and how did you become involved with this?
Yeah, so I actually worked with New Light Medium Films previously. We actually did a smaller project before. Shane actually reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, this is the idea we have, and we feel like you're perfect for this role." So I was like, "Tell me more about it." He was like, "Well, it's about a wrestler, and she has a passion for wrestling, and she also happens to be LGBT." And I was like, "Oh, that was me when I was younger." Like, it was kind of like he basically described my entire 16-year-old self. So I was super, super excited to be able to learn this sport and, tell this story for everybody to see.
So you weren't a wrestler at all before. Did you know much about wrestling heading into this?
I did not. I definitely benefited from a lot of YouTube videos. And I sat there and I watched matches. I watched, Kayla's matches. I was studying. And once we got on set, I was like, all right. I was stretching for 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Show me what to do. And we got to work.
Who was your trainer for your actual in-ring learning part?
Well, we were actually at a wrestling school, which was helpful because we were able to have some of the students there help us. And also, Shane was giving me a lot of pointers, and Kayla was in the ring as well. She was hands on. She was putting my hand where I need to be. Where do I have to lift her? Everything like that. So it was right there on set. No prior training.
Was the woman you were working with a wrestler, or was she just another actress brought in for this?
Yes, Jackie was another actress that was learning this with me. We both looked at each other and we're like, let's have some fun. Let's, learn something new. And we were able to pick it up really shockingly fast, and we had so much fun doing it.
Now there is some kissing in this and stuff like that. Was that your first time doing that on camera as an actress? Because that, I can imagine that might be a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it actually was my first, and it just so happened to be the first time during a global pandemic. So that was interesting because we were like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Things are weird in this world right now, but we got this kiss scene going on. So, it's nice to meet you." It was basically, really, really something, crazy, but it definitely was essential to see put on screen. It was something that really tied the whole story and Kayla's story to begin with.
At one point, you meet like a famous wrestler in the show. I believe she's called Mercedes or something in the show. Was that another actress? Because she kind of had like a famous wrestler look. She was well cast.
Yeah, so that's Hoops Alexander. She actually was on Flavor Flav back in the day. So she's actually getting into acting as well. But she wasn't wrestling either. Like this was everybody's first, and I think for everybody's first, time around, we really got to work, and we did this justice for sure.
What was your acting background prior to doing this series?
I actually always got the mean girl roles, a little rough around the edges type of roles. So this was my first athletic sport type of role. So I've been out of sports for a couple years now. So once I got that itch to, be a part of something and a part of like a team, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. Let's go. This is new, but I am super pumped to learn more. And I was very upset that we weren't able to do more.
Is the goal of this to keep going with it as a series if the first one becomes a success?
Yeah, so this story of Kayla, it really touches a lot of people. It's not just about this girl who has a passion for wrestling. It's about her finding herself and her journey within herself, learning that not everybody is going to accept you for who you are and for what you love to do. So I think no matter who's watching it, they can relate to it some way or another, and we want to continue to represent and be that voice for girls in wrestling, for LGBT youth. We want to be the voice for anybody who has, a dream and maybe someone doesn't agree. So we really want to just continue this story to see where Kayla goes and how she gets back into the ring for sure.
As far as the match that you did in the show, which is on the last episode, it seemed like a fairly long match. It takes up most of the episode. How many days of filming was that match? Because I imagine some of those moves you'd have to do multiple times to get the right shots.
You might not believe me, but we did that scene actually in the second half of the day, one single day. We did a bunch of different scenes before then. I'm not going to lie, we were a little tired. And it was just like this adrenaline rush. Once we got into the ring, they had the ring on set, and everything was so surreal. So we we learned it and did it for about 5 to 10 times, and then we rolled the tape, and it worked. It was just, I don't know how Jackie and I did it, but we really worked together. We helped each other out, and we were able to put on this show in very short notice.
Did you ever get any feeling to become a pro wrestler after this, or you just going to keep pursuing acting?
Well, it was actually pretty fun. I mean, I grew up doing karate, and I was always the smallest. And I'm only 5'2", so like everybody would always like try to pick me up and toss me around everywhere. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get in the ring. And I had her up, and I was just like, I really just want to throw her out of the ring. Like I just you really like fall into this like whole momentum, and I was like, wow, I kind of like beating people up for fun. Um it was it was definitely it was definitely cool. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that when we get the next season, that I can start learning more moves and see where it takes me.
And just to get this out of the way with, it is on Roku and Amazon. How can fans watch it if they want to search it up?
Yeah, so you can see it on Roku or Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and you can also watch it on SV TV, which is Strong Voices Television Network, which you can actually stream on any device. So they have all 8 episodes on there. So I'm pretty sure we have the link a few times around our social media, and they've posted a few times about us. So you should be able to find it on there as well.
I understand from the creator of this that there was a little bit of controversy that some of the people involved didn't know what the actual story was going to be about, and now they're a little hesitant to help promote it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it actually it was pretty disappointing. Just because we were a little taken back. We all thought that we were all there for the same reasons, and unfortunately, the way we wanted to market it and be able to be voices for the LGBT community, it didn't sit well with her. So we wish her the very best, but we will continue to tell the story of Kayla and, be able to tell the bigger picture, the bigger story, and, really make something special.
Now, you say you could identify with this story. Could you explain a little bit how you can identify with it and maybe some of the struggles you went through when you were younger?
Yeah, so I, came out at an early age. I came out in ninth grade, which was almost
Well,
15,
you were in 12
years ago.
the show, so that's only 3 years ago.
Yeah, so a few years ago, I came out in ninth grade, and it was a different time than it is now. I mean, I think we made progress, as part of the community, but we're trying to see more on screen, and I just didn't have much to relate to. I didn't really see, people like me on TV, having relationships with, people of the same sex, and, it being so normal. So I think, my younger self would be over the moon to see me now, being able to have that opportunity to get on screen and be that familiar, face to somebody else. And that in itself is just, why I do what I do.
Was your family supportive of you when you came out to them, or was it similar to this story where it took some breaking in for them to get used to the idea?
I think it kind of came and come in different waves. Like it was, kind of not a shock. I was, tomboy. I always wanted to hang out with my brother and do, the boy things and skateboard, and I was always rough around the edges. So I don't think I don't think they were too surprised, but also I didn't have like a coming out party, which I've seen as a thing now. Um, I kind of miss that, but it's definitely now it's more of I am my own voice, and now my family loves my girlfriend who I've been with for over 6 years now, and it's we've come a long way. We definitely have, and my journey is something that I can't wait to share with the world, and I can't wait for everyone to be able to see Kayla and get to meet her and see how this story continues.
What are your acting goals as time goes on? What type of roles would you like to get?
It's funny. I was thinking about this earlier. I always manifest different roles that I think that I always want to be on, and I really low key want to be on like The Walking Dead or like Euphoria or just something like I love, that raw, different alternative storytelling that like just is more fun. I'm not really one to do a crazy Hallmark movie, but something like action or horror. Like I really just I'm excited in all the guts and gore, and I'd really like to be dramatic about something like that. So any of those roles would really just make me so happy and so grateful.
I think you were by far the best actor in this.
Oh,
Of
stop.
watching it. No. Well, it
Thank you.
wasn't the father. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh man.
But do you have any acting advice for any actors watching?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I love everybody that, I worked with. We helped each other so much. So I think that if you can keep, your people that are close to you close, your mentors, I think you need to put yourself out there, instead of thinking that you want to get the first big role. I think that opportunities can stem from any small role, and that's exactly what happened with me here. And now it has opened these doors and opportunities that I never thought that I would get. And drive the 5 hours to the audition. That's what I would say, because I drove 5 hours in a snowstorm to Shane's audition. I was there for maybe an hour and then drove 5 hours home, and it has now brought me here. So you just never know, and try to just take every opportunity that you can.
Kelly would like to know how awesome would it be to be a zombie on Walking Dead?
Yes. Exactly. Like, I could just picture myself now, just like limb after limb. I always watch them, how they like teach them the choreography of how to like be a zombie. And I'm just like, wow, sign me up. I'm there. I will fly to Atlanta. I'll be there. She's so funny. Kelly, I want to see Kelly be a zombie. I think she'd make a great zombie.
Did you have a particular favorite scene from the series?
Yeah, this might be a little biased, but I'm going to pick the last one. And that is because me and the cast and crew came together, and this was last minute. We decided that we wanted to, really kind of give the viewers a little bit of hope, because we kind of felt like the mom and dad role really came at me pretty strong, and then doesn't really come around after that. So I was like, you know what? Let's really tie this together, but still keep it open for the next episode. And we were able to come up with the script and concept like a week before shooting, and we were able to get it done. And it's one of my favorite episodes. I don't see the project what it is without it. And I think that we really did a great job as a team, working last minute like that. So episode, the last one's my favorite. Check it out. You got to get through all of them though to see the last one. So
How many days shooting was it all together to put this thing together?
well, luckily, I was actually working Monday through Friday job at the time, during the pandemic, and Shane was able to work with my schedule by making it on the weekends. But it would be like we worked 3 weekends in a row, and then like we'd have like 2 weekends off, and then another 3 weekends in a row. So I was just taking the trip upstate, and we were getting it done in those days. So it actually was pretty fast for what we've done. But I would love to just wake up like every day and do that. That's really every actor's dream. So it's great to see it all come together and everybody's hard work.
Now, when you lifted your forearm up a minute ago, I saw your tattoo. I was actually wondering in the
Not the
show.
guns. No.
Yeah, they're not
Yes.
bad, but could you tell us a little bit about your tattoo? Because you could see it in the show.
Yeah. So we tried really hard to cover it for some points of it, but it became a lot. It's actually, I got this one in Thailand. That was a fun trip. I got my mom's flowers in there. This is my dad's birthday. A little bit of a butterfly here. I like the whole, development of a butterfly and how beautiful it is and all the flowers. And having faith right here is actually the one that I got on my 18th birthday, scheduled it the day of. And that's few of many.
Do you think it's going to hurt you to have tattoos as an actor, or they can cover it?
Yeah, we can cover them. They make the makeup for it. I actually, since I play a lot of 18 to look younger roles, I do have to cover them. I did get them, most of them before I went into acting. But I just love art. I think my body's a canvas, and I will sit there on set hours before if I have to get them covered, so that I can still do what I do.
Now, I know you said you're not a wrestling fan, but you must have studied it a bit going into this. Do you have a favorite wrestler?
I don't, I was gonna say Britt Baker, and I think I really was Sasha Banks for a little bit, just because my little sister was her when she was 10 for Halloween. So I totally love the whole blue hair look. I've dyed my hair blue a couple of times. But I actually got to meet Thunder Rosa at the premiere, and I've seen her and her matches, and she is just as cool in person as she is in the ring. So it's a tight race.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't just do this as an actress and not develop like a respect for the sport, or whatever you want to call it, entertainment. What would you call it? Would you classify wrestlers as actors?
Yeah, I was actually going to say we're not so different. We're storytellers, and we just happen to do it, in a different way. And when I learned that, I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, you're really having a nonverbal dialogue here, and it's something that we do as actors on screen, with our co-stars. And it's like, we're really out here, just trying to connect to people. And I think whether it's wrestling or acting, I think it's all important. And I think we all have a job to do. And to be able to do both of them at the same time is so cool.
Where can people follow you if they want to personally search you up on social media?
Yeah, so my tag is actually the same on all platforms. So Marissy Rose, MarissyrosE. Type that anywhere. I have a website, www.marissyrose.com. All my socials are connected. So you can find me on there and give me a nice little follow. Let me know, if you watched it. I love to hear people's feedback. I love to see people watching it. Like, I think it's so cool. So definitely connect with me. I have YouTube as well. Everything is all Marissy Rose. So if they put that in any search bar, they'll find me.
And for anyone watching this that has seen it, feel free to write in the comments your own review of what you thought of the movie.
Yeah. And what other moves do you want Kayla to do? I mean, I really just want to learn more. I love learning new stuff. So any thoughts about what she should do next, and where you think or how you can relate to this story, I'd really, really love to hear.
And Shane's writing on here that, again, people can watch it on Roku devices, Amazon Fire TV, Fire Stick. Just search Against the Ropes TV and it'll pop up. Well, thank you very much for talking to us. I watched it. I have very short attention span, and I watched all 8 episodes.
I'm so proud of you. That's
and
great.
I didn't mind it. My dog watched it with me too, so she'll say goodbye to you, and whatever you want to say to close this off to the fans, we'll let you shut this down. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much. We, as a group, we love everything about this series. We will continue to, tell this story and be an advocate for everybody out there. So just check out the series. Let us know, share it, like it, and you will hear from us soon.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video, then click the subscribe